more on this week of NFL football after the insanity of this weekend in college football. And so excuse me for not bowing at the beginning of this show to Mighty Football and the specifics of what happened with last night with Belichick, which has no precedent. It has no precedent in the history of American sports that he would allow more points than he ever has in a game.
It's awesome.
And
delicious.
And that everybody would watch. It's like watching Bear Bryant or Vince Lombardi or something just stripped to its nudist, almost like outside that door that Pablo sniffed out and that Ring camera that Pablo recreated. You know what I learned about Pablo? I asked him this weekend. I'm like, when you recreated Belichick leaving the room, did you not think to take your shirt off in the recreation, or were you embarrassed? And I heard they debated it for hours in the Pablo Torre Finds Out universe, and he wouldn't do it because he's a coward. He wouldn't do it shirtless. They did think about it, and he didn't recreate it that way. Belichick has never been undressed like that before in the history of us watching football. A coronation, a celebration. He's a small underdog at home against a TCU team that is usually nationally relevant, and you see right off the bat how far behind he is. Something I thought of last night that I didn't believe a lot of people were thinking of. North Carolina last year produced the single most surprising half of football that I saw in college football last year. At home, they were losing to James Madison and allowed 52 points at the half against a James Madison team that finished third in the conference.
I mean, I think if you wanted to see North Carolina fail, it worked out perfectly, right? In that first drive, all the hype was coming in, like, Belichick's going to come in, he's going to change everything. You're like, I've never seen anything. I can't prove it. And then the first drive, they drove right down the field, like, oh, my God, we're great. Like, if you're a North Carolina fan, we're great. Michael Jordan's high-fiving people. Everybody's so excited. And then the rest of the game happened.
I got to tell you, it's been quite the offseason leading into this debut for UNC for Bill Belichick, and a lot of people have questioned his legacy. Nothing has made me doubt his legacy more than him settling on Freddie Kitchens is a good guy to run my offense.
Why would anyone have expected different? I'm not talking about last night, but like this season, they're going to stink, all right? UNC's going to stink, and Belichick's going to stink. And you know how I know this? Because his entire coaching career, if he doesn't have Brady, he stinks.
Yeah.
They're going to stink.
Yeah.
And I have actual evidence to support this. If Tom Brady is not his quarterback, his whole career, he sucks. And they're going to suck.
Yeah, and people are going to laugh at him nationally because he's not likable. Unless you live in or around Boston, you don't like Bill Belichick.
I don't think they like him so much in Boston these days.
You could be right.
Well, we've never seen, never. It has no precedent. Bill Belichick unraveling throughout this offseason in a way like everybody's looking like, what's happening over there? Comes to the college game and triggers, because this was the thing that I was thinking about that I thought was funny is like, oh, okay, look how they do it in North Carolina when it's Chapel Bill for the Deion Sanders celebration. That doesn't look like what Deion Sanders was doing in Colorado. That's Bill Belichick getting in the game with the fame and the name, but through management, right? Deion did it through player. Belichick did it through management. I kept thinking, do people understand that North Carolina was as bad last season as Colorado was bad when Deion inherited Colorado? Right. What Deion did the first game out when he beat TCU.
I've never seen a graphic like that in my life, by the way. I was watching that, and I was thinking, man, this is a really bad quarterback, no? And they put a graph damn near 2 hours after his last completed pass. They time-stamped it. Last completed pass, 8:12 p.m. Eastern. That's one of the worst quarterbacking performances I think I've ever seen at the P4 level.
That was at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It had been over an hour and 15 minutes since a completed pass.
Not good, Dan.
But where does the game pass you by the spectacle that his offseason was, the cost of what it was to get Bill Belichick and that name to North Carolina? people disrespect how hard it was to do what Deion Sanders did, taking a team in Colorado that was what this North Carolina team was and making them beat making that TCU team, beating this TCU team, which created an expectation for last night that while it was erased after the first drive, all of you were on the first drive like, well, Cowherd. You saw Colin Cowherd's tweet. Colin Cowherd, who has mastered the troll business of how do you get the engagement by being wrong because nothing that you say actually matters, wasn't really sure what to expect from Chapel Bill, but after that drive, I have him as the second best college coach I've ever seen.
You think he's trolling?
Just below Saban. I think he's trying to be funny.
And failing.
I think he's being serious.
But I don't think he minds being historically wrong. I think he said great hyperbole about Arch Manning as well. Lewis, I don't know if you ended up finding that tweet, but there was a tweet from Colin Cowherd from I think 2024. The wrong business pays well. It doesn't matter when everyone's talking, right? I don't know. You guys did Gilbert Arenas just hire Skip Bayless? Are they together now? Like that's
business
how
partners,
yeah, that's how that one ages, where you just go out at the end trolling people and wrong doesn't end up mattering in any way. They're not. People will still associate Colin Cowherd forever with sports. It doesn't matter how wrong he is. That's just sports people overreacting to thinking that right and wrong matters.
Gilbert Arenas got rated a couple weeks ago, right? That's just done